Hello, hello, hello again, Baltimore. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the weekly Employee Baltimore Show, brought to you by the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. I am your host for today's episode. My name is Darrell Falls. I am one of two workforce supervisors in the Employer Services Division, and today joining me is my main man, a serious leader within MOED, Mr. Marvin McKinstry, one of our great workforce supervisors leading his great team in the efforts of helping us deliver workforce strategies and offerings recruitment services to all of Baltimore City employers and job seekers. So he'll be joining me soon. Thanks so much for joining me, Soldier, in this conversation. We're going to have an exciting show for you guys today. Again, thank you for joining us and tuning in with us. Please hit the like button, folks. Share this link on your Facebook page. Hashtag Employee Baltimore Show. Each Wednesday, you can join us right here on the Employee Baltimore Show at 1 p.m., where we bring you exciting news and information on jobs, trainings, and careers. And we also have a special guest to share that information with us today about jobs and training. So, folks, this is a great show. Share this show. Share it with your friends, your family. Let everybody know about it. Stay connected with us. And without a doubt, you'll land you a great job or land you some great training. Now, in the previous weeks, we discussed construction careers, okay? Last week, we shared information regarding apprenticeships with three great leaders. This week is no different. We're going to talk again about construction trades, but we're going to pivot a little bit into another industry. So today, we're still learning about construction trades. So if you're in tune with us and you've been in tune with us for the last 3 weeks, you know this is the construction month. This is the hiring month for construction. There are major projects all over Baltimore City right now. And right now, we need candidates. We're talking about a lot of jobs, folks. So stay tuned with us. Share this link. Invite your friends along and join us each week. All right. Joining us today is an expert from the Apprentice Maryland program. He's going to discuss with us how you can become a registered apprentice. So get that pen and paper out. You're going to need to take some notes. This will be some very, very informative information for you guys. All right. And later on, Marvin is teaming up with a special guest to share some good, great information about hospitality. Folks, guess what? The hotels are opening up, okay? The restaurants are opening up. They're looking for good, qualified candidates right now. You could be one of those individuals because guess what? There are no better qualified candidates that you can find anywhere but in Baltimore City. So Marvin, whatever you got cooking in the pot, I hope it's good, brother. We got a lot of folks that's going to be watching and listening in for all that good information that's coming by way of you and your special guests in reference to hospitality, hotel jobs, restaurants, cooks. All those jobs are coming back, folks, and those jobs are coming through the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, so you definitely want to stay connected with us. Also, we have two great events happening this month. On May the 24th, folks, we have an apprenticeship program that's going to be via WebEx. Virtual apprenticeship programs. We're going to have unions, apprenticeship programs, training programs, all interested in talking to you about how you can get the skills that you're going to need to get all these good construction jobs that's coming. Then on May the 25th, we have contractors. Folks, there are some serious projects happening around your town. Okay, if you want to meet with some of those contractors and talk to them face to face virtually, on May the 25th, you will have your chance. I'm talking about jobs with commercial construction. I'm talking about projects up at Park Heights. I'm talking about Port Covington. I'm talking about 24th century schools. I'm talking about Harbor Point. There are so many projects that's happening around town. We need people and we need you right now. If you missed out yesterday, we had a great virtual job fair with commercial construction for their Park Heights Renaissance Road project. We had 4 great contractors that joined us. They had a lot of fun meeting with the candidates of Baltimore City. They were very, very pleased. We were happy. Folks, stay connected. This is the time that you want to stay connected with us, all right? Please share this information. Share, share, share. Hit them hashtags, folks. Employ Baltimore Show. This is the place to be. This is where you're going to get all the information about jobs. But guess what? Maybe you can't visit this show every Wednesday. You can still get connected with us. We have a web page with jobs on it. All you have to do is click on that page, folks. MOED.baltimorecity.gov. You click on that page and you're going to see over 100 jobs that you qualify for, 100 jobs that you're going to like to learn about, 100 jobs that you're going to want to hear about and read about to see if you are a good fit for it. And guess what? Once you apply to that job, email goes straight to one of our great employer services representatives who are eager to reach back out to you and contact you and help you navigate into an interview and perhaps land that great job. So click on that link, folks. Great jobs are available right now. And guess what? If you are a local employer seeking good quality candidates, you can post your job on there as well. We have a great link right now for you to post your jobs on so Baltimore City residents can hear about your jobs. If you are a company right now that's looking for a great agency to partner with, there's no better agency than the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, where not only do we provide you great recruitment help, but we do it for free. All right? So send us your jobs at employeebaltimore@oedworks.com. Let our team of qualified industry experts see what we can do to help you with your current and future hiring needs. I think Marvin is back with us right now, Ollie, if you want to bring him in, because I really want him to give a little pre-up about some of the things that he's going to be talking about before we bring our guest on. Folks, stay connected with us. What's up, Marvin? You on mute, brother? Come on off that mute.
Darrell, listen, the people. It is crazy in Baltimore employment right now.
Absolutely.
Hear what I'm saying. It's crazy in Baltimore employment right now. We are meeting with major employers as well as some of the employers that don't have the biggest businesses. And the crazy thing about it is nobody is saying I have a job to fill.
Yep.
We are talking about people who have needs for groups of people. Darrell mentioned yesterday's events in construction in Park Heights, but we hosted an event for Walmart that staffed about 4 of their stores at an average of $17.50 an hour. Bro, I don't know if we have a guest. My guest is the human resources director for a hotel in downtown Baltimore, and they are so busy right now and understaffed that she don't know if she can join us. Like Baltimore, I need y'all to really get it. Like this show, more than being about any particular industry, is going to wind up being more the post-COVID show. Because y'all need to understand, just as you hear them talking about the world reopening, man, the businesses in Baltimore and the surrounding area are hiring like crazy. And they are coming to the Mayor's Office of Employment Development to make these connections. I ain't been on here in a couple of weeks. Darrell was flying solo. But this week we had to come on together because, man, it is a lot going on in Baltimore. Y'all know I'm just transparent, so I'm going to keep it real with you. This week's show, this whole month, was construction.
Absolutely.
This hospitality boom demanded, because we getting hit. LaFontaine Blue, different hotels. We are getting hit like crazy by businesses who are in need of hospitality professionals. Absolutely. And you already know the construction industry is booming because the weather is good. Contracts and building. The closing was even a good time still yet to build because you didn't have so much traffic in the way of the building.
Absolutely.
So this is definitely the show you want to be on, but don't be selfish. Like, love, and definitely share. Share to your groups. Share to anybody that you know, even if you got to tag people by name in the comments, because you got the two job gurus in MOED in Baltimore, and I say that humbly. But you got the two job gurus on here doing it together, and I promise you are going to hear so much valuable information. Now, I was on the phone with my employer. She was so apologetic. I was literally saying, "Look, I understand. I get it. You got a whole hotel to run, and they running it short staff." So we still gonna talk about that employer.
Absolutely.
If she's able to pop on, it'll be a blessing. We're gonna talk about the opportunities that are there, because I think we're looking at maybe 12 to 15 positions just in that one hotel.
That's beautiful.
We need you guys to get this show lit up today. We need you to share and get a lot of people on it, because it's a lot of opportunities, and we want to be able to share these opportunities with as many people as possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Marvin. We're going to bring you back on after we talk to someone. Listen, folks, Marvin is correct. This is a hiring season. The jobs are there right now, okay? And if you've been watching the news, you've been hearing about one word: infrastructure. What do that mean? That's the conversation that's happening right now. That means they're talking about repaving roads, rehabbing neighborhoods, rebuilding communities. But guess what? Right now, there are projects underway that need you now. So right now, in the foreseeable future, we're going to need a large group of ready, skilled, and trained job seekers to hire in this construction industry, in the hospitality industry, in the hospital industry. All these industries are booming right now. So, but listen to this in reference to construction. If you want to earn $24 an hour or more in the next 3 to 4 years, and not owe $500,000 in loans, you need to carefully listen to our next guest that's joining us. You need to listen to this great gentleman, the program manager for the Apprentice Maryland program, Mr. Jeffrey Smith. Mr. Smith.
Hello,
man, thank you for joining. How are you? Because you're the man that's going to tell us about how we can make some good money in an industry that's flourishing right now. Construction is booming, and we need to get our folks trained up. So be straight with me, be straight with me, be straight with me. How can the folks who need the skills today get those skills so they can get those high-paying jobs tomorrow? How can they do it, Jeffrey?
Well, first off, thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure. It's always a great opportunity for me to be able to have a chance to speak with folks in Baltimore City. Baltimore City is obviously, it's a huge economic engine for our state, and there are a lot of opportunities. You are absolutely right. And those are opportunities across industries, across different occupations, all sorts of opportunities that really the fact that the pandemic, it appears, let's knock on wood, is coming to an end. Our economy is going to be back in business the way it was before, if not even better. So that means there are jobs needed. Skilled workers are needed. Well, you might be asking, well, how do I get connected to those skills? There are great opportunities to do that. One of those ways is through the Maryland Apprenticeship Program. Specifically with the Maryland Apprenticeship Program, there are opportunities for you to earn and learn at the same time. Be paid to learn an occupation while also getting connected to that instruction to teach you the technical knowledge needed to succeed. Apprenticeship in its basic form, I'll just sort of give you a brief overview of how it works. Registered apprenticeship consists of two principal components. The first is on-the-job training. This is on-the-job training that is a full-time job, full-time W-2 paid employment. Individuals will learn in any occupation, in any industry, about the specifics of how to succeed in that occupation. What do you need to know to do that job and do it phenomenally well? You do that by learning the occupation. You do that by working with someone who is fully skilled in that occupation. And what are they doing? You're working with them, and you're literally working side by side with them. They serve as your supervisor / mentor. They are teaching you exactly what is necessary to do whatever the job might be it in construction, be it in hospitality. They are helping you learn literally, here's what you do on the job in this particular occupation. Exciting. It's the way it's supposed to work. But that's not all. the individual is also at the same time going to be getting what we refer to as related instruction. That related instruction is providing the opportunity for the individual who's working as an apprentice to learn why we do what we do when we're on the job. In other words, the technical knowledge to back up how to do what you're supposed to do. And again, that is typically paid for by the employer that you're working with. And you are learning this occupation. As you correctly note, construction is a huge user of registered apprenticeship as a model for upskilling individuals to become fully qualified tradespersons in occupations like electrician, carpenter, plumber, HVAC, you name it, sheet metal worker, plumber and steam fitter, across the board. And these are great opportunities. And yes, they are available in Baltimore City. They are available beyond Baltimore City. We have a great number of employers that are connected to apprenticeship and hiring apprentices. Right now in the state, we have almost 11,000 apprentices. This past November, in spite of the fact that we were in the throes of the pandemic, we had more than 11,300 registered apprentices for the first time in Maryland history. So Maryland is working, and that's going to only continue as the economy continues to open up. Be important also to mention, obviously, it's not just about construction, although that's certainly important. Just look what's going on at Port Covington. Every time you look by the Sun Papers building off of 95, you see those big cranes up in the air? Well, tradespersons have to operate those cranes. Those are operating engineers. We have apprenticeship programs to be an operating engineer, and they're very well paid. Any one of those buildings that has more than a few stories in it is going to have an elevator. Elevator constructor, another apprenticeship program, very well paid. But it goes beyond construction. We have apprenticeship opportunities in healthcare, information technology, transportation and logistics, and of course, not certainly last but not least, hospitality, tourism, food service.
Yes. Can you give us a little bit more about that, the hospitality and the
Absolutely, absolutely. We have apprenticeship programs that are training folks as apprentices to become lodging managers in hotels, motels, resorts, you name it. We have an apprenticeship program where individuals can become fully qualified restaurant line cooks. That's a great way to get into the culinary profession. You know how many good restaurants there are in Baltimore. Well, somebody needs to make those great crab cakes. Somebody needs to be making all of that good food. And the way to do it, it's got to be somebody that knows what they're doing. I wouldn't even try making a crab cake unless I had my mother's recipe, because I probably wouldn't get it right.
There you go.
Someone who's an apprentice is going to know somebody's mother's recipe, and they're going to know how to make it and make it wonderfully and make a great presentation out of it.
So what are the requirements? This is one of the things that all the apprenticeships have different requirements, or is it one standard requirement that folks can meet and they can kind of at that point pick and choose what's the best path for them?
Sure. Well, I'll mention a couple different things in that area. The first I'll say is every program has unique qualifications, but a lot of them are very standard. Generally speaking, but not always, most apprenticeship programs typically ask that someone be at least 18 years of age. However, we do have some of our programs that have direct entry opportunities for individuals while they're still in high school as 16 or 17-year-olds if they have their parent or guardian's consent.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. We have individuals, a lot of our programs actually allow for entry for 17-year-olds or sometimes even 16-year-olds, depending upon the occupation and trade. In those cases, an individual can actually start working as an apprentice. Obviously, while they're in school, they can't work full-time, but they can get some part-time hours of that on-the-job training. What they can get, they still have plenty of time and opportunity to get a first year of the program, the related instruction. Sometimes that comes directly from the apprenticeship program, but in other cases, the apprenticeship program has an agreement with the local school systems to do what's called school to apprenticeship, where they will accept, let's say someone's in the plumbing curriculum at one of Baltimore City's high schools. Some of our programs will accept that as the year one related instruction requirement, and then allow the apprentice to get part-time work as much as they can. Once they graduate high school, then they're working full-time the day after they graduate, or at least after senior week if they do go down to senior week. I know this because I've got an 18-year-old that's graduating this Saturday. So I'm
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that everything goes fine there. But
that's good. That's great.
So
let me ask you, for apprenticeships, okay, the locality is always seem to be the question of where they're located. A lot of folks in Baltimore City don't have vehicles. They want to join the apprentice. Are they accessible? Are they easily accessible without having to have your own vehicle?
We have apprenticeship programs in all different counties of our state. As far as transportation, typically the requirement that will be written into a program's minimum requirements is where they will say reliable transportation needed.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be someone having their own vehicle. It could be, but if someone can reliably get to their work site utilizing public transit, that's okay. It's just a matter of, can you get to the job reliably on time? Doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there. Most of our programs typically do require a high school diploma, or if it's a GED if someone's coming in from out of state. But we do have some programs that allow someone to enter without yet having their high school diploma, provided they can get it by the time they would complete their whatever length their apprenticeship program might be. Those are the general requirements.
Okay.
I'll also say, if somebody wants to know more specifically about what kind of programs we have, where they are seeking apprentices, where they're located, what their basic requirements are, we actually have that covered. On our website, we have something called the Maryland Apprenticeship Locator. This apprenticeship locator allows individual job seekers, but also businesses who might want to be connected to an apprenticeship program, to find out which programs are available in which counties they're seeking new apprentices, and what occupations are available, what industries are available, and basic program contact information and entry requirements. So
are there any new apprenticeship type of trainings that traditionally wasn't a part of apprenticeships that's happening now? Anything that was outside of apprentice? Are there any new programs that are going on?
There absolutely are, and I think when we talk about hospitality, that is relatively new to Maryland. Okay. When I talked about healthcare occupations in apprenticeship, that is also relatively new to Maryland. IT, relatively new to Maryland. Historically, construction trades and manufacturing were really the bread and butter of apprenticeship. But now all different types of industries are realizing that apprenticeship as a model, an earn and learn model, is a great way to upskill people and grow your own skilled workers.
Absolutely.
So it's something we really promote, and we work with all different kinds of businesses every year. We work with a lot of different individual job seekers, typically through, at least these days, virtual job fairs. Although I'm keeping my fingers crossed, we'll be able to have in-person job fairs soon. And that'll be a great opportunity for a lot of folks to reconnect and to help our job seekers connect to all of these hot opportunities.
Great. And so the Maryland Apprenticeship Locator, if someone is interested in apprenticeships in hospitality, healthcare, information technology, they can go on there and find out about how to connect to those programs, right?
Absolutely. And the website for that is mdapprenticeship.com. If you go there, right at the top of that page, you'll see a big blue bar that says Apprenticeship Locator. Click on that, and that's your entry point to find out about the world of apprenticeship.
And Jeffrey, just as involved folks are okay to work in apprenticeships, there's not really any barriers that are preventing folks who have former involvement with the Justice Department or anything like that from getting into an apprentice, right?
It generally depends on the program, but many of them know. The only time it could potentially be an issue is if the apprentice might be working in some sort of a secure facility, say a military base or the National Security Agency, something like that. But by and large, a number of our programs really they are looking for individuals who are ready to work. And if somebody had incidents in their past life, but is ready, willing, and able, and wants to work now, I know a number of our apprenticeship sponsors have found some of their most enthusiastic and hard workers for individuals who were looking to make a new start and really, grow into the life that we all want at the end of the day. We want to be able to support our families.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to support ourselves. We want to be able to have enough money in our pocket to do some fun things now and then, but really we want to be fulfilled and happy. And having a steady, stable career, not just a job, a career, well, that helps us all.
So let's talk about the salaries with apprenticeships, because that's always another question, is that the salaries start low. It's like you're starting at a minimum wage. Is that a factor, or is the salaries, they range depending on what type of training you're entering?
They really range depending upon the type of occupation. I would say most of ours are not bare minimum wage. In fact, we have very few that are flat out minimum wage. Folks are starting at a percentage of what a full-time individual worker might be making as a fully proficient occupation. And then as they gain experience, they are getting regular, progressive, scheduled increases in their wage. They know about at the time of entry. So let's say for this example, I'm entering as an electrician's apprentice. If my business who hired me wanted to hire a fully qualified person day one, they would pay that person, for this example, say $30 an hour. If I'm starting as a day one apprentice, obviously I don't know enough to be able to say I want $30 an hour. I'll make a defined percentage, typically 50%. So I'd be starting day one at $15. But my progressive wage, and that's just an example, but my progressive wage scale, after I've done the first 1,000 hours, say, I might go from 50% to 55. Second 1,000, 55 to 60, with the anticipation that on a regular period, if I'm successfully moving through, I'm getting regular wage bumps that I know about, but also my employer knows and can plan for. When I get to the end of, at least for this example, what's a 4-year program, when I get my completion credential, I am simultaneously moving to that 100% journey person's rate for whatever that occupation is. So apprentices know what they're going to be compensated as they gain and acquire more knowledge, and they become even more and more valuable over time as they know the job better with their employers.
That's great. That's great information, folks. Apprenticeships, training, jobs, salaries, starting 15 and up. Maryland Apprenticeship Locator can tell you all the information you need to know to get connected to the apprenticeships. Yes, it's construction. Yes, it's manufacturing, but it's also hospitality. It's also healthcare. It's also information technology. And Jeffrey, just to talk about the healthcare and information technology, off the top, can you tell us a couple of programs that are existing under those two occupations?
Sorry, your connection.
For healthcare and the information technology.
Yes, I'll give you some examples under healthcare first. We have programs that train individuals as apprentices for the occupation of licensed practical nurse, surgical technologist, pharmacy technologist, central sterile processing technician, licensed practical nurse, a lot of different occupations, medical assistant. We have a couple programs that do medical assistant. If we look at IT, we have folks that are working as IT specialists. We have folks working as software developers. We have folks working with cybersecurity. So there are really a diverse array of opportunities available in these different occupations.
Oh, so Jeffrey, someone in our audience has a question too, and I'd like to have that question. You can pop that question on the screen, Ollie. Is there normally an age limit for older folks like 30 to 35 being misplaced from COVID? So this person is wondering, is there an age cap? How old? Is no age cap to being an apprentice, is it?
You're correct. There is not. And actually, legally, you couldn't have one anyway, but there is not one.
That's a great question, though.
No, it is absolutely a great question. We love to get people those direct connections after high school when they graduate. But look, not everyone takes the same path. Somebody might start going to college and realize it isn't their thing. Actually, you'd be interested to know, we actually look at, and we've done some surveys to see, and looking at our databases, typically folks start apprenticeships around between 24 and 26. Obviously, we'd love to get them connected earlier, because the sooner they get connected, the sooner they're making those full rates. But we have people of all ages in apprenticeship. There was one gentleman right when I started and came to the program. He had a tragic death in his family, and I believe it was his son had been working as an apprentice plumber. His father, as a legacy to the son, changed careers when he was in his mid-50s to become a plumber's apprentice in his own right. He's now a fully qualified and journeyperson plumber, and he did it in his 50s. Somebody just needs to be ready, willing, and able to work and be able to perform the tasks that are associated with the job. Obviously, if it's a construction job, there's going to be a little more physical activity.
Absolutely.
But if you're working in an office environment, so really age is the one area that, as far as an upward limit, there isn't one.
There you go. Folks, May the 24th. If you're interested in talking with some of the programs that are actually offering apprenticeship, we have a virtual event May the 24th. Ollie will put the link up if you want to register. Please join us on that day. Hopefully, Jeffrey, you're there that day with someone from your agency. I know you guys are really, really involved with us. We enjoy the partnership we have with the Maryland DLL. Everyone on your team partner well with us. We work so, it's so many names, I can't even start mentioning them, like Roseanne, Lisa. It's so many of you guys that do so much great work. I enjoy your time with us today. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. We will be talking again. We will invite you back out to have some more conversations about apprenticeship. This conversation is not going to end. This is going to be a continuous conversation, folks, because there's a lot of folks out there that are looking for employment and training, and it is there. And these trainings are free. Again, one of the great things, Jeff, you're not leaving a plumber's a journeyman all in debt. You're getting that training and that licensing, and you don't owe $100,000 in debt from student loans and things like that. If you owe debt, it's because you just bought you a house.
And don't forget, it's most of the time the related instruction's paid for, but also the apprentice is paid to work. So you're paying little, if anything, for the training, for the actual technical training, and then you're getting a wage. So it's the best of both worlds.
There you go. Thank you again, Jeff, for joining us. We will be back with you again. We really appreciate it. Marvin, what you think, brother? The apprenticeships, man, I know you great talk about that hospitality, but man, apprenticeships, hospitality together.
One of the traditional knocks on the apprenticeship programs has been access. And the reality of it is, through, of course, the relationships of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, people have uninhibited access now to those. And I want people to understand that apprenticeship programs are not going to school, okay? You are working full-time for the union and going to class maybe once or twice a week and earning a full-time wage. So when you hear apprenticeship, don't think North American Trade School or none of those other places where you going, like he said, $25,000, $30,000, $35,000 in debt and not earning a living. Apprenticeship is pretty much on-the-job training, and you go to class maybe once or twice a week in the evening to get those classroom skills, and you're already a full-time union employee through the process. Man, I'm telling you, like, it's just, it's crazy. It should be 100 people on this live right now.
It should be.
We need people to really get the information out that on Wednesdays at 1:00, we are coming to you through with this level and this kind of information, because this information is access. It's literally the open door, because the relationship is already there through the relationships we building at the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. So please, like, love, share. tag somebody. Man, it's just powerful stuff happening in Baltimore.
Yes.
As
so
it
what's
pertains
happening?
to the workforce.
We have a lot of activities that's coming up, and I'm gonna mention those. But I want to talk a little bit about hospitality. Do we have any guests that any of your guests make it today? Because I know that industry is booming.
We tried to bring one on today, and we booked most of them for next week's show. So you're going to hear from several people next week. But we had one we wanted to come on today. And again, I told you, as it pertains to this, a lot of apprenticeships do require driver's license. I'm looking at the show on my phone while I'm talking. Mm-hmm. That question is a really, really good question.
Yes,
some of the apprenticeships require driver's license, but he's talking about stuff that's not just in the construction field. Like, change your mind about what apprenticeship programs. This man was talking about LPN and other things that's not the traditional apprenticeship programs. Exactly. So and literally, he said they've really moved a lot of their requirements to being able to get to the job. So what I would encourage you to do is to apply and find out what the requirements are. But getting back to what you're saying about hospitality, man, the reason we taking this pause with a pause, not pause for the cause, but pause with a cause in the middle of construction month to talk about hospitality is because our phones are getting beat up.
Yes.
Man, we've been in meetings with the Horseshoe. We've been in meetings with several of the hotel and lodging, several of the restaurants
the Marriott and Camden
halls
Yards.
And all of that sort of thing is coming back on. So we really, the message that we want to get out is hospitality is alive and well, and it's on the comeback. And it's tremendous to me. Again, Darrell, because like I said earlier, we're talking about people who are hitting us up with multiple positions.
Absolutely.
All throughout the various things. We always say hospitals and hotels are like little cities, right? It's a little bit of everything that's happening there, from security to housekeeping to food service to front desk and customer service. Like, it's so many different things that are happening in that one location. So it appeals to people of many different skill sets. And I mean, we got some time, and I'm glad me and you'll get the opportunity to kind of talk about it, because hospitality is jumping off, man.
Yep. And I'm going to talk about some opportunities right now as Marvin is talking that's happening in hospitality. Right now, the Marriott Hotel International in Camden Yards is seeking room attendants and housekeepers right now, starting at $13.64 an hour. If you're interested, send your resume to Miss Delia Henry at OED Works. That's D Henry at OEDworks.com. Right now, Marriott in Camden Yards is looking for room attendants and housekeepers and many other job opportunities. So the jobs are here right now. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for another event. The jobs are here right now. Click on that link. We also are working with frontline management services that are looking for environmental services workers to work in and around East Baltimore near Monument and Madison Street, helping to keep that area clean, cutting the grass, mowing the lawns, picking up the trash, looking for individuals that we will hope live in that neighborhood. Again, if you're interested in that job, you can simply reach out and send your resume to Miss Delia Henry, D Henry at OEDworks.com. They're looking for folks who can clean up and keep the area clean of debris, trash, keep the grass cut and the trees trimmed. Real good jobs right there for you folks.
One of our guests today was going to be the human resources director at the Hotel Revival, which is smack dab in downtown Baltimore, adjacent to the Walters Art Gallery. And they have positions everywhere from their front desk. They just reopened their terrace restaurant. They have, of course, room attendants and all. I mean, it's just a plethora of different opportunities, y'all. And what I always tell people about that hospitality industry, remember, that's same day money. Those are the industries where they tip heavy. right?
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about going in there and you coming out. Of course, you got your paycheck to look forward to at the end of a week or 2 weeks, depending on if it's weekly or bi-weekly. But you also walking away a lot of times with cash in hand, because this is the industry where people like Darrell, who got the big money, they tip good. You know what I'm saying? And people, how many stories have you heard about people in this industry that have worked at a restaurant, and because we know that the hospitality industry was one of the hardest hit by COVID, somebody left them a $25, $30 tip, $100 tip.
Yes.
I've done it myself.
That's right.
I blessed a young lady in Applebee's one day real good. I don't even like Applebee's. I was there with my daughter. But I just wanted to bless this young lady because she provided us with great service. And in my heart and in my head, I was thinking about how that industry was hit a little harder than all of the rest of the industries. And remember, Baltimore has become tourist central.
Right.
All of Harbor East, all of downtown Baltimore. And then, of course, you got White Marsh, you got Owens Mills. All of these places where you see all of these, Fells Point, Canton, like
Harbor East, you have these nice little eateries all over EBDI, East Baltimore. Starbucks, places like that, they're all looking to hire.
And the thing is, so many times we look at it from one perspective or the other. You know, we hear about the construction going on and we think only construction jobs. No, you got to know what they're building. And what they're building is a hospital. I went to meet with one of our employer partners down in that Harbor East corridor. And I declare every time I go down there, there's something new that wasn't there before. And we went to this place called the Harbor East Deli. When he said he wanted to meet at the Harbor East Deli and I heard the name, I'm like, okay, what do you want, a sandwich or something? Man, this is probably one of the most. Yes. And look, I told him he's from another country. I said, you can't buy dinner in my town. I told him, I said, he wanted pizza. I said, you cannot come to Baltimore and not get a crab cake, especially when the crab cake is good. And them lump cakes was sitting there looking nice. What did I see on the door as we was coming in? Now hiring. We need help. Everything from delivery drivers to people to work in the establishment. Like, yo,
need help.
The world is reopening. This is a great time if you're a hospitality professional, customer service oriented person to jump back in the game.
And talking about customer service, we got Harbor Bank of Maryland looking for tellers right now, paying $16 to $20 an hour right now. Sent us a job. We need tellers, Mr. Falls. We need tellers. So if you're interested in working at a great banking establishment, Harbor Bank is hiring right now. Send your resume to Brandon Scott at oedworks.com. Not the mayor, Brandon Scott, but B. Scott at oedworks.com, one of our great employer services representative, and he can get you right directly connected to Harbor Bank. That's right now looking for tellers right this minute. And then we have a great event coming up June the 3rd, Marvin. University of Maryland Medical System, probably one of our greatest partners in the city of Baltimore, is hosting with us a virtual administrative clerical healthcare interview event. You can come and do a virtual interview for patient registrar, admitting specialist, unit secretary, certified nursing, billing clerk, project analyst. All their clerical jobs, administrative jobs are right there for you right now. And let me say this, I can remember a time growing up in the 80s, these jobs wasn't accessible, folks.
Man, I did listen, Darrell.
We wasn't hearing about these jobs, folks. You are hearing about these jobs now. These employers are reaching into the community now. All those jobs that used to be almost, you had to know somebody that knew somebody that knows somebody. You only have to get connected to the Mayor's Office of Employment Development right now.
I did a query yesterday helping out somebody that was interested in employment there, exactly in that unit secretary field. And I've been working with them, filling a lot of these positions for years now. My good man, shout out to my man, Mike Franklin.
Yes,
he really gives access to the Mayor's Office of Employment Development on a different level.
Dewey.
I was amazed at how many positions came up just in the downtown main hospital and in the Midtown campus.
I mean,
like, folks, we're not talking places where you gotta go far. We talking central downtown Baltimore, and which to me is still considered downtown Baltimore. Over there in Midtown, the old Maryland General, if you wasn't aware, the University of Maryland now owns that location. As a matter of fact, my son works there, and man, it is thriving. It's booming. They have so many opportunities that it will blow you away. And again, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, our Employer Services Division, has the right relationship to give you access. I can't stress that word enough, because Darrell is right. We lived right up the street and didn't have information or access to jobs that was down the street.
I emailed my girl Shayla. She said, I'm there. That's all she said. I'm there. You're going to have some folks for me to talk to about jobs? I'm there. You can come on June the 3rd and meet with the recruiter virtually through your phone, through your computer, through your tablet, and have that conversation you've never been able to have before. And talk to that recruiter and sell yourself and let them know why you would be a great candidate to work at their great company. And this is what we're good at doing, folks, putting you in the face of the employer. Northeast Foods, Walmart, all of these employers, we have put you in front of them so you can talk to them. We don't want to talk to them on your behalf. Nobody can sell you better than you. All we want to do is put you in the conversation with the employer.
The most understated aspect of these virtual events, people are getting job offers on the event. It's it's not you come to the virtual event just to be invited to another interview. We are talking hiring managers, lead recruiters, the people who make decisions right there. We did some training in our meeting this morning, and we're in a space as a team where we're conditioning ourselves to the changes to not just our agency, which is MOED, because we've kind of led the way, but also to our industry, which we call workforce development, where businesses are not going back to business as usual. The virtual access and other things that have made it more efficient and effective for them to find, or not really to find, but to interview and process or onboard great new talent in Baltimore is something that they're going to be consistent with. And the facilitator for these opportunities has been none other than the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. Listen, call it a shameless plug, call it what you want, but I'm going to tell you, one of the slides in my part of the presentation this morning said, listen, the message is out. Baltimore businesses understand that the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is the place to come. To get their talent. We are the place to come to get their talent. You see it right down there on the bottom, moed.baltimorecity.gov, to view our job board, because everything you're hearing about, as I see people in the comments right now that are asking about access points to these opportunities, everything that you hear about right now is literally listed on that job board.
And we have company. I mean, listen, 1-800-GOT-JUNK need drivers from us right now. I have an employer right now that said to me, I want Baltimore City residents that I can train to install sprinkler systems. I want a Baltimore City resident. Why are these employers reaching into our city? Because this is where the hard workers are, folks. We have a generation of hard workers from this city. All the big manufacturing plants, whether they was out there at Sparrows Point or way out there at Dixie Cup or the old London Fog, Baltimore workers made those companies great. So that's why they're reaching into our city looking for you. All you have to do is connect with us, folks, and we will connect you to those employers.
We have a great
go ahead, Mark.
We have a great question from Pivot Baltimore. Pivot B-More. Will UMMC allow qualified justice-involved persons? So, of course, for years, the thought process was that because you were justice-involved, the hospital systems was one of the places that was off limits. UMMC deals with justice-involved on a case-by-case basis. What am I saying? Yes, people that are prior justice-involved can gain access. Now, there's some stuff that they really just hard on, and we understand. We ain't gonna put you in the pharmacy if you got drug charges. Let's just keep it real. We ain't gonna put you in patient care if you done beat on people in your past domestic violence and assault.
Right.
But they literally are, and I have several people that work there right now that are justice involved. This ain't one of them things. You know how they do now in the Band the Box Society. They put it out there that they are justice involved friendly, but they don't really do it. Pivot Be More, they really are giving access and opportunities to people who have been prior justice involved. So yes,
a lot of employers are.
We want to encourage people who even have that as a part of their past reality to continue to apply. But I'm gonna tell you one even better. Y'all know me, shameless plug. If you want to navigate employment as a justice involved person, our Northwest Career Center has been the leading access point for people who are justice involved. So at Center of Mondawmin, we are, I think we officially in phase 2 as of this week, which means people can come in by appointment to the center to receive services. So we want you to know that MOED, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, is your ongoing access point. We don't discriminate. We position you regardless as to what the challenges are to be able to get access to the employers. And like I said earlier, the employers are coming to us, man.
Yes, they are. And again, our goal is to make sure you're successful. We're not setting people up for failure.
No.
We're going to sit down and talk with you and see where we can navigate you, where you can land on your feet. Whether it's at University of Maryland or any other institution, there's a place for you. So don't shy away from us. Come towards us and let us help you and see what we can do to help you. May the 24th, May the 25th, we have 2 great events coming up. If you want to get involved in apprenticeships, May the 24th, you must register. We will have those folks on. You can talk to them personally in the breakout room and talk to them about your desire to get trained so you can get these construction jobs. May the 25th, we have a lot of contractors that's coming on board that's going to talk with you individually about interviews. We are bringing you in a format with the employer, folks, because that conversation you need to have with that employer. You can ask all those great questions about background. But let's say this, though. Let me always say this. As a person that's formally justice involved, you have to change before society does. Okay?
Talk about it.
You have to change before society does. Society don't owe us anything. So my whole thing was always how I'm going to give back and how I'm going to be viewed differently than my past.
Now
that's what I would say. So again, meet us, be here with us every Wednesday, folks. Join us, me, Marvin, and the rest of the team. We're here to support you and encourage you and lift you up. We're not here to set you up.
Let me offer another tip to my justice involved folks, because not only is Darrell former justice involved, so am I. Once you get to that point that you really have made that internal change, build your social capital. Darrell said it earlier, and from this to now, I know it to be true. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yep.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. So when you get access to a place like the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, I have literally seen policies overwritten. Let's say that. They override the policy. They look beyond the policy because of the trust they have in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development and the candidates that we send, right? Now, sometimes, because I want people to be informed, you just have insurance issues and things like that for some companies where they just can't do it, right? But in a lot of cases, the relationships that we're building is giving you a different level of access. Watch this, than you can even get for yourself. You can go down and you can send your resume. You can apply. You can do all of that. And you're not going to get the same level of access as if you partner with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development to be your access point to these businesses, because they trust us. You right now on this screen, you're looking at over 25 years of workforce development experience in Baltimore combined between me and Mr. Falls. This is what you want to do. You want to connect with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. The bit.ly is right there on the screen. You want to register for the virtual events You want these access points because, again, like I said, we partner with you for your success.
Absolutely.
We serve
there
businesses. Our primary customer is businesses in this division, right? But we partner with the job seeker towards your success. We become the door that gets you in, even in some places where your key don't fit.
There you go. I was so pleased yesterday. Here we have a construction event, and even ladies joined that event and got interviewed. And none of the employers, see, we're opening up doors. We don't care if you're transgender. We don't care if you're a woman. We don't care what your race is. We don't care what you come to us to get help. We open up those doors for you to get that help. And we're pushing these employees to make sure that when you get that job, you're treated fairly, you're compensated appropriately. But guess what? They're looking for someone that's going to show up every day.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone that's going to show up with the right attitude and the right mindset.
Yeah.
And they're looking for someone that appreciates the opportunity they was given to at least perform on that job at your optimum. You meet us there, we can get you the rest of the way.
The only labels that matter to us are these labels right here. Job seeker.
There you go.
Candidate.
There you go.
Potential employee.
There
and we've demonstrated that. We kicked off this reboot of the Employee Baltimore show by bringing on advocates from every walk of life, LGBTQ plus, Latinx, women, you name it. And don't think that that's been removed from the show. We're going to continue to bring on people that are service providers, re-entry providers to talk about it, because Baltimore is one of the most beautifully diverse places in the world. It's beautifully diverse in its businesses and it's in its job seekers.
That's right.
Our one goal is to be the bridge to make sure that qualified job seeker. And one of the things I love, like you said, about those of us who are justice involved, when we talk to our LGBTQ advocate, a good brother and friend of mine from Joy, Baltimore, by the name of Lonnie Walker, he said, don't nobody owe you nothing. In this culture of sensitivity, what you need to be above and beyond anything else, I don't care which of the marginalized populations you may identify with, you need to be prepared. You need to be job ready. So when you go to that employer looks beyond everything else and says, there's somebody that's going to enhance the way that my business runs.
Yep. So all I want to say is, who do I have for Bank of Harbor Bank? Who do I have for these apprenticeships and these construction companies?
Hotel
Who do we
Revival?
have for the Hotel Revival, the Marriott? Who do we have for University of Maryland? Who do we have?
And for
we
that
have the jobs. All we need now is you.
For Hotel Revival, you can email djwilliams@oedworks.com. Again, that's D, the letter D, J as in Juliet, Williams@oedworks.com. And he is going to make sure that we get you connected to those great opportunities that we have. Man, Ollie is the truth, man. What would we do without that great production?
Without my sister. Yes,
yeah, she going to teach me. She going to train me, and I'm going to be behind the scenes making it happen too.
And again, you want to connect to the Harbor Bank jobs? You want to talk to B. Scott at OED Works, send him your resume. You want to connect to the jobs at Marriott at Camden Yards? D. Henry at OEDworks.com. We're here to give you these jobs, to help you connect to these jobs, folks. And guess what? Man, we love doing it, and we have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
I've never had this much fun helping people in my life, man.
Absolutely. And we got to get on here and just talk some more like this, man, and talk about these employees. I'm having a good time. But I want to ask you, which email should somebody, because Shawnette Burns has been consistent with us through the hour, which email should she be looking to drop her resume to? Shawnette, listen, we still want you to go to the Bitly so that you can do your registration. We want you to check out the job board. But who should she be talking to?
Shawnette Barnes, I know you, darling. Haven't talked to you in a minute. You shoot me your resume at dfalls@oedworks.com.
Oh my! Now listen, Shawnette, I need you to stay in the comments because you look when the boss.
I'm on it.
When the boss send it directly to him, you got a different level of access. So we need to make sure that you get that. And if anybody that's here today has heard anything that I've said and you just want to connect with me, because we supervise staffs of 5 people now, but we still are accessible. My email is mmckinstry@OEDwork. Ollie is on it, man. mmckinstry@OEDworks.com. If you want to shoot me your resume or anything else for any other opportunities. And listen, this ain't Manufacturing Careers Month, but I've had it out there for a few days. I need some overnight warehouse people starting at $14 an hour. Our time is up. So make sure if you're interested in that position, you send mmckinstry@OEDworks.com. University of Maryland, you hit dfalls@OEDworks.com. Bro, I love doing this with you. I ain't just talking about the show. I'm talking about doing this work of helping our city and changing it for the better. Thank you, man. Thank you. Shout out to Ollie, the best producer in the game. Just don't tell my sister. Just don't tell Shaka I said that. All right.
Thank you, love you, Baltimore. Love you. Salute you. Let's get it done.